Good evening. Good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are. My name is Timaeon, and I'm here making comment and answering questions based on my unique perspective. We all have a unique perspective. Mine is one of the features of mine is that I've done 50 years of meditation on a daily basis. What has it brought me? You can ask me about anything, not just about the spiritual world, about the geopolitical world, about sex, drugs, rock and roll, you name it, I'll have a go at answering it. So, if I'm keep seeing me doing this, it's because I'm also going out live on YouTube. So the video link on TikTok is much better quality than on YouTube. Yeah, I think that's because I'm using a different computer. Thanks for telling me that. Okay, so let's have a look here. Good evening. Eradication of Draco reptilians, any thoughts? What I'm getting is they're going to do it to themselves somehow. And also we're getting to the place now where, we can affect each other epigenetically. And I think that I'm only channeling, I'm only jealous. I don't know what I'm talking about. Yeah, I think they're going to do it to themselves. So here's our Japanese friend. I wanted to ask you something, but it's going to be a bit long, so bear with me. I wanted to ask you about something you said in a video, specifically the meaning of life video. You said that after AI takes over the jobs, people will have more time to explore what life is. Well, that's actually what, yeah, go on. And that people will not have to be slaves anymore to job, wasting precious human life. But what about people who feel happy about their professions and will risk being substituted? Well, the thing is this: if you're happy doing what you're doing, fine. But the thing is this: we've got into the habit, we've normalized slavery. We think it's perfectly fine if you enjoy, going to your factory, getting up at 6:30, going for an hour on a bus, getting to your factory to put in chips in an iPhone and do that for 8 hours with a half-hour break in between, then take an hour to get home on the bus to get back to a tiny little place, which you can just about afford, right? That's fine. We've normalized it. Oh, no, I really enjoy my job. It's a really good job. Before, I had to go for 2 hours to get to work. And there are millions and billions of people in that kind of situation. Now, for them, slavery is normalized and they enjoy the job because they're not comparing it to what it would be like to live a life without slavery. They're comparing it to other jobs they've had. However, freedom of choice hopefully will still be there, but it just means a lot of the low-end jobs, what I call low-end jobs like fruit picking, assembling things in factories, things like that, things where human beings aren't really using their intelligence or their gifts, but are simply like robots doing something. That kind of thing will go. And eventually, human society will completely reconfigure itself, where we realize that this life is precious. The only reason that we have normalized going to be slaves, basically, earning a tiny amount of money for a whole day's work, whereas the owner is doing very little and making enormous sums. That's got to change. That's not right. Anybody knows that's not right. It's just that people can't visualize another way because it's become normalized. Well, that normalization process has reached, that process has reached its end. It's normal is cracking up and we're waking up. People are awakening and realizing this life is precious. And there are things that we can do that maybe as yet people haven't really visualized or thought through. There are wonderful things we can do with the time. We can improve our relationships with each other. We can watch our children grow up. People working to keep their kids fed and clothed and housed, but spend no time with their kids. That's not right, but it's become normal. I mean, if you've traveled in India, then you'll see what it looks like, how hard people have to work to maintain the basic level. So I think it's all going to be work out okay. If everything is neutral, good, and bad, should we ignore evil or fight it to enter the new earth? The thing to enter the new earth is, first of all, find out what is reality. What is reality? What's real? What's unchanging? What holds everything? Find that first. So, good and bad, everything is empty, but it doesn't appear as empty, does it? Liamafioli. It doesn't appear as empty, though, does it? Things appear as good, things appear as bad. My point is that from reality perspective, they're empty. And how something appears to us is given by who we are being that it is. For example, child sacrifice is in the news, right? Now, to the people doing it, who they were being that it was that it was fine to do it. And so they were all sitting in the room doing it, and it appeared as fine to do it. But from our perspective, we look at it, and who we're being that is that it most definitely is not fine. So it appears to us as shocking. If there was actually a way that it was, we'd all get it the same way. So should we ignore evil or light it to enter the new earth? I mean, people have different views about how to deal with evil. Some say leave it, don't fight it. You may be called to fight it, then do so. You may choose not to, then that's fine. It's more about being in this moment without concepts, without protocols, without rules, and just be so sensitive to your signal that your whole modus operandi, the whole way you live your life, is based around what is good is bringing you to the signal. What is bad is whatever takes you away from it, and to be sensitive to that. But it's not about doing one thing and not doing another. It's about acting in accordance with the signal of that moment. But people can't see that, so they want to be told what to do. But in the new earth, in the new future that we're inventing, people will be told less what to do and will be able to respond because they'll find their own inner guidance. And they'll realize that when they move from the signal, things go well. There's a coherence with the rest of the field. And when they don't have coherence with their own signal or go against it, things wobble out. So people will realize that for themselves. Meaning, should we focus on love and light only to use the Draco-Epstein files and fight, or use the Draco-Epstein files and fight them? Focus on the love and light. And if you're called to take on the Draco-Epstein files and fight them, do so. Some people will be, some people won't. Yes, we have normalized slavery. Even half the price of what things are is insane. Yeah, isn't it? And prices keep going up and up and up. And no one knows what to do about it. The consumer has no recourse. What can the consumer do? Nothing. So they put it up and put it up and put it up and put it up and put it up because they know we can't do it. And then all the different supermarkets are all in cahoots with each other So they all put it up together, and it's a massive conspiracy to drain the resources of the slaves. Do you think we're overpopulated? Well, you know what? I don't. I don't. I mean, we're overpopulated if we're going to be selfish, you know, if we're going to be, um, just greedy. But if we share, then no, there's plenty of space, there's plenty of land, there's plenty of food, there's plenty of water, as long as people aren't hoarding. In a world without money, in a world based on sharing, then I don't think we are overpopulated. I think there's something natural. In other systems, naturally, nature sorts that kind of thing out. But overpopulation isn't something that affects me. Other things affect me, but it doesn't. I go to India sometimes where it's absolutely so many. You go to a town in Bihar, for example, in northeast India, and there's just millions of people in the street. I mean, it's crowded every day, but people get along, and it's amazing. Fruit picking in Africa is high vibrational and connection to the mother. Okay, but what about FX teachers who feel happy about their profession of teaching, have a family, home? Well, fine. There's always teaching is always teachers are always going to be at a premium, and hopefully, in the new vision, teachers will be paid the proper amount. So teachers will be a job that gets very highly paid because they're human and they transmit knowledge and experience. Transmissions will not be coming from AI. Teachers, musicians, they'll always be at a premium. I think that saying that jobs is slavery is a kind of black and white way of seeing things. Well, I'm not saying all jobs are slavery, but if I'm talking to people who are doing work only to raise money to feed their children and family. They're not doing it because they love it. They're doing it because the only thing that's available to them to honor the responsibilities they've taken on. That's what I'm talking about. That's slavery. Working when you don't want to, but have to, that's slavery. Doing something you love, doing something that is like service, fine, that's not slavery. Our children that were too busy to keep safe are being kidnapped, raped, and murdered. Exactly. So another good reason. So we got here, the video TikTok is much better. Cool pass. I like hearing your takes on things. I think you have a lot of wisdom. Thank you for sharing. You're welcome. Hi, Simon. What is your profession in your life? I'm a professional Timaeon. I lost my job today, unfortunately. Don't worry. If things like that happen now, you can just hang in there. Figure out what you'd love. What you'd love. Allow yourself to get in touch with what you'd really love. And then go look for it. If you entered your job today, there's going to be a good reason for that in these times. So watch, you'll see what happens. It'll be all right. Something will be there when you want it. But don't do it because you should. Do it because when you're ready, maybe take some time off. And when you want it, it'll be there. When you're ready, when you choose it. Hello from Croatia. Hi there, Lucia. I got the point that some jobs feel like slavery, but not all jobs. No, they don't. Okay. What the difference is whether or not you're enjoying it, whether or not you would do it, whether or not you're doing it for the money or because it gives you something. But I'm visualizing a world where people take action for service. Scorching Phoenix. Thank you, Elder. Okay, thank you. What is this guy talking about? Listen, casual, and you'll see. But ambition won't disappear. Even if we have a perfect world, it's guaranteed that someone will be someone will try and break it for more power. Yeah, unless we really get the lesson of these times, unless we really take it on board how far off course we've gone. And also, what you're not factoring in there, Caleb, is the possibility of a mass awakening. There are people, you may be one of them, there are people throughout the world right now, and it's only going to get more, who are awakening. What does that mean? They're realizing that how they were told things were and who they thought they were is not who they are, and it is not how it appeared. That there's something incredible within us. Human beings in this mode of slavery have been kept away from their radiant hearts, have been kept away from the divine within them, have been kept away from peace, and have been fed all this programming into their mind to satisfy a desire, which is endless and tedious. So there is a possibility of awakening. It's already started. The flame is lit, and that flame isn't going out ever. And it will inevitably grow and grow and grow. And along with AI, a whole new culture will come. But you could be right. Gaia Goddess. There has to be a balance of good and bad. That's how the universe operates. Well, you say that, but that's how the universe appears to operate for you, given the place that you're looking from. There are those that look at the universe and don't see it dualistically, good or bad, right or wrong, up or down. They see it from a non-dual place. And their vision of the world and the universe is as valid as yours. That view isn't universal. There has to be a balance of good and bad. Good is arbitrary. Good is something, what is good to one is not good to another. Who's to determine what is good or what is bad? And if there is a determination about what is good or what is bad, let it be what good is what brings you to your signal. Bad is what takes you away from it. Raven, hi there. What is your opinion on the situation in Iran? Well, I don't know, because, I'm trying to figure it out. I think that the Iranian people should be able to choose what it is they want. Clearly, Mossad, Israel, and the US have been destabilizing it. Clearly, Israel wants the US to bomb it. But I'm thinking, and now I hear that the Straits of Hormuz have been blocked, even if it's just temporarily. So I don't know. I've got to say, I don't really fully get it. You can see what Israel wants. They want the US to bomb it. And so far, Israel has got everything that it has said it wanted. So it looks like that might happen. But the thing about it is that they don't really know just exactly what it is that Iran could counter with. They have their suspicions, but they can't be certain. And, it would just be kind of poetic justice, wouldn't it, if they attacked Iran and then suddenly Iran sent off something that flattened Tel Aviv. Voids. Hi. Hey, Timaeon. Hey, Voids. Yeah, thanks for your help the other day. That was helpful. Thank you. Bones. Okay, real question is, why can't we just put all of these people that are doing this stuff in jail and replace them with people that don't do it, like good human beings that care about us? Well, that is what's going to happen. That is what's going to happen, one way or another, sooner or later. But the thing is, good people have got to find some balls. The UN has got to find some balls the stitch the Israel banked on the UN not doing anything. First is US out of the Security Council. That's it. And now another nation should go into the Security Council, and we should start getting resolutions passed properly, fairly, using justice, not using hidden agendas of global dominance to determine the decisions, but justice and peace and what is best for all. And because basically the UN is getting disempowered. It needs to be re-empowered, and we need to get a force, a multinational force, into Gaza, distributing the food and kicking all Israelis out of it. You know, what's the ceasefire? Get out of it and go back where you said you go, and let the people of Gaza be fed and housed, and let their new future start happening. But it's, you know, it will happen, I believe. The horror that we're seeing, have faith in humanity. It won't happen immediately, but I reckon what's going to happen, we're going to see, and we're going to collectively decide that we can't be going on like this, that another way must be possible. And then we're going to start inventing it, and then we will live into that possibility, and we'll arrive in the new world. Trade or barter? Barter's good. Barter's good. Rich, I'm feeling that if I saw a tunnel of light when I die, I should stop and look within for truth. That's what happened to me. Yeah, that's what happened to me. I went up the tube. You know, you can't stop the energy when it comes. You really can't. It's too powerful. And shot out up the tunnel, and halfway up the tunnel, something said, slow down, stop. I could see the light at the top. Stop. And then I realized, and I looked, and I saw all that had been created by me in my life and could ever be. And I said out loud, wow, everything that has ever happened is happening in unchanging awareness, and I am that. And then I came back. So in order to get out of the matrix, which includes the appearance of death and the after death states, and the return, the appearance of a return or whatever, you have to realize unchanging awareness while you're alive. Now, when I did that halfway up the tunnel, a being appeared behind me and said, that is why you've meditated all this time, so that when the moment came, you could distinguish the real from the unreal, what is a manifestation and a mental projection, and what is unchanging reality. So yeah, but the better than stopping when you go up the tunnel to realize unchanging awareness, realize it now before you go. North Kings, how do you go into space, please? We're already in space. That planet is in space. This command vessel is in space. I want to be excited to wake up every day. Alchemica 3 points. Well, I am. Look, I'm as old as I am excited to wake up every day. I wake up, and then what normally happens, if I don't get up when I wake up, I start thinking in a way that I don't want to be thinking. But then I think, let's just get up, have a shower, have a coffee, and then sit down and meditate. Yeah. And every day starts like that. And it's so cool. And then you've come out of your meditation and you're feeling full. You've got some love. You've got some peace. You've got a positive mindset. Such that it doesn't really happen. It doesn't really matter too much what happens in your day, because you're already found. Excuse me. You're already found. You're already at home with yourself. So when you have the sense that you're growing, when you clearly recognize that there is something to know and that you're getting to know it, when you feel purpose and depth and love and peace, you want to get up and get back in it. But if you stay in bed and let your thoughts grab you, then your whole day can go in a different direction. Okay. I get your point now. She says, okay, thank you for clarifying. You're most welcome. I don't really, I don't really, what am like it? I don't know what that is. Black sun, that's an eclipse, isn't it? Alan Jacko, it's supposed to be the year of what did in the dark comes to light. Let he show you something you've been. Okay. What advice would you give to someone who feels lost and don't know who they are anymore? Oh, is that you? What advice would you give to someone who feels lost and don't know who they are anymore? Okay, well, that is a chapter in the story of your life. In this chapter, she gets lost and she can't figure out who she is anymore, all right? But remember this, you're the author. You're the author. So how you're feeling, oh, I feel lost, I don't know who I am. That's all internal chatter, right? Your internal dialogue goes, you don't know who you are, do you? And I go, no, I don't know who I am. You've always been lost. You've never been good enough. No, I've never been good enough. Yeah, well, you know what you should do, don't you? No, what should I do? You do nothing. Suppress yourself. Yeah, maybe I should do that. It's all up here in your head. But how would you know that you feel lost if something wasn't witnessing the lost feeling? Is that which witnesses the feeling of being lost? Lost? Is that one lost? Or is it a narrative that you have created through listening to your internal dialogue? It's a narrative you've created as the author. But actually, you're behind that. You're the one that witnesses whatever you're thinking. You're the one that witnesses whatever feeling you're having. Whether or not you know who you are in terms of the part you're playing in the narrative or the story of your life, you still are. Beyond the character you've been playing, you are. Now, if the character you've been playing is changing, you might feel lost. I was so sure I was going to be a nurse. I was so sure I was a nurse. And then your job goes, you're no longer a nurse. So for a while, you feel like, oh, I don't know who I am. But you're still there. You're more than the part you're playing. You're more than the character. You're more than the character you're playing in the narrative of your life. And that's finding yourself. That's what ends being lost. When you find the self. The earth is flat, bro. Okay, it certainly appears that way until it doesn't. They had that thing we were talking about the other day, where I think it was about a week ago, some flat earthers gathered quite a lot of money, like $200,000, and got a whole load of hot air balloons, weather balloons, laser measuring equipment, very, very accurate and expensive. And they did all these peer-reviewed, monitored tests to prove the flat Earth theory. And under those circumstances, it was very humiliating for them because not one of the tests proved the theories. Not one of them. It was a complete and utter failure. Can I join? Yep, you can join if you want. Seems like you only spit facts, bro. Fair play. Okay. Are you in space? We're all in space. Hi from France. Universal love. Oh, hello, hello. Universal love from France. I like that. It's a long time since I've been to France. I've had some good times in France. My first love was French. Oh, so romantic. Can I join? Yes. Just put clip up. What do you do? Click somewhere? Oh, all the questions are flying by. Let's get back to where we were. Okay. Colin, you are the awareness in the body. Look up the black sun to get out. Get out. Who? If I'm the awareness is not. The awareness is everywhere, equally, evenly, always, already. Where would you go where awareness isn't? It's not possible. It's not a domain that has an edge or a boundary. Awareness is in all domains. It's awareness that shows up the matrix as the matrix. Without awareness, you see the matrix as real. Voids, no problem, mate. You have made me think about many good things since meeting you. Good. You have impacted my life in the right way, bro. I hope you know that. Oh, that's really good to hear, Voids. Did you have an account called Grim? How long? No soldier has a personal problem with an enemy combatant, and you won't find an elite or their blood near the battlefield. No, true enough. True enough. You know, that classic thing in the First World War where on Christmas Day they stopped and played football. But you see, the thing now, war has really changed in Gaza. For the first time, using AI. All compassion, gone. All decency, gone. The honor of war, gone. And the only instructions that the AI is given is to do what it takes. What does it take to win? Not what does it take to win and remain honorable, remain compassionate. No. So war has taken a turn for the worst in the last 2 years. Did you ever go by Grim? No. Where are you? Did you try DMT? I've tried DMT in ayahuasca, but not directly. Not through the pipe, whatever, but through ayahuasca. I have been struggling a lot to still my mind at the moment. Okay, well, when you struggle to still your mind, what I do is a technique called Trataka. And what you do is just find any spot. You could have a little Buddha image or a candle or a spot on the wall. It doesn't really matter. Excuse me. Or a spot on the wall, and then you just don't blink. Focus on the spot. Don't blink. And very soon, everything quietens down. Because you can't be rambling on to yourself and thinking and focusing at the same time. But sometimes it is difficult, but it's not always difficult. but that way works really well. Open-eyed meditation when mind is strong is a good idea. Supernatural. We wake up that way from the start. What happened? Interesting. You could play a wizard in Lord of the Rings. Thank you. Joe, have you written any books? If not, will you please? Yeah, I have. Here's one of them. This is called Secrets of Silence. That's me without my beard. That's Arunachala Mountain, a magic mountain in India. You should go to it, Arunachala. And this is a big old book. It's got 2 books in one in this book, and you can get it on Amazon. And another book I wrote you can get on Amazon called Secrets of Silence. And that's also available as an audio book. Thank you for asking. I want to start meditation in my back garden. But do you think the birds will be a distraction? No. I once I'll tell you a story about birds. Once I was in the desert in Rajasthan, and there was this tiny little temple. I think it was a Kali temple. And I went in there to meditate. And so I was sitting there quietly in the morning, and this bird came in, and I suddenly it was like fluttering around in the roof, and the feeling was like, like that feeling like this is not enjoying it. Whatever's happening to that bird, it's not enjoying it. So I got up from my meditation. Normally I'll let anything just be and stay where I am, but I got up and opened the door for it and kind of helped it out. And so then I went and sat down again. And I left the door open and I sat down again. And the next thing I know, after about 5 minutes, I hear there's a bell outside the temple. I hear the bell ring once. And then I'm sitting there and this bird comes and sits on the top of my head. It was saying thank you. So the sound of birdsong is great to hear when you're meditating. It reminds you you're in heaven. In heaven, there's birdsong. Yeah, so sit in your back garden, doesn't matter. Some people say, oh no, you should only do it indoors. No, sit in your garden, feel the life, feel the breeze, feel the birds sing. And then you look up and the cats come over from the next door neighbor and they're sitting there. Beautiful. Meditation's good anywhere. Thank you for your help. You're most welcome. 26. Whatever I may be, I am a thinking thing. So get a rigosum. Cogit ergo sum. No, you were before you thought. Not I think, therefore I am. That's a mistake. You don't exist because you think. There is a deeper function. When you were a baby, you had no language, right? No thinking. Later, you got language, then you started to think, and then you invented an identity for yourself. But you already were the witness. That came with your first breath. As a baby, you witnessed hunger or feeling full. You witnessed cold or hot. You witnessed love or confusion coming at you. So there's something far more incredible about a human being than the fact that human beings can think. There's other faculties, more subtle faculties, that don't require thinking. In fact, that require you not to think. And the bottom line of it is you're not even the thinker. If you really go deep in the meditation, what you'll find is that your thoughts arise, 26, of their own accord. They spontaneously arise of their own accord, and their content is given by who your being that life is in any one moment. Your thoughts spontaneously arise of their own accord, and their content is given by who your being that life is in any one moment. So you're not even the thinker. If you were the thinker, here's the kicker. If you were the thinker, you'd be able to tell yourself to shut up, and you can't. And when you do, you don't. You try telling yourself to shut up, it won't work. You'll grab it on. You go, shut up. Well, I can't shut up right now. Yeah, shut up. Just shut up. No, I can't. Talking to yourself. So that is cognito ergo sum. No, there's a deeper truth. Emotionally stunted. Hey, now, no way we have a. Which year are you visiting us from, traveler? Who knows? Proxima Centauri. It's funny, isn't it? All, you get this sense of timelines weaving together, of long stories coming to an end, of wonderful new possibilities emerging, of things that we've never seen before coming. It's like very, very exciting to be alive right now. Very, very exciting. And it's important to choose love, choose humanity, choose love, choose peace. Be on that frequency. If people ask to join, just ask them to request the box. Okay, thank you, Voids. Is God with us? Yeah, and you know how you can prove that, David? You just took another breath. Where do you think the breath comes from, if not the divine? Where do you think, what's the difference? It's like when that stops, whatever it is, you're dead, you're gone, you're done. Whatever it is that makes you take a breath, even when you're not conscious of it. So God is with us. Are you with God is the question. Or are you with your thoughts? Or are you with the matrix? Or are you with who you think you are? The question is not, is God with us? The question, David, is, are you with God? What are you drinking, if you don't mind me asking? Cold tea from ages ago. Okay. I ordered your book today, Vonnie says. Oh, thanks. I'm focusing on my hematite stone. Okay. People get different degrees of experience with different crystals. I was involved in importing crystals way back when the first, in the early 70s, when it all started, the whole crystal thing. I had some amazing crystals at one point. And of course, the planet is full, is filled with crystals, crystal caves. Yeah, wonderful. People talk a lot about hematite. I've never really had an experience with it, but people do, I know. Thank you so much for that beautiful answer. Love you, brother. You're welcome. Thank you for doing an audiobook. It's hard for us low vision folks to find them. Can't wait to read it. Yeah, the audio book there's two of them. One is called The Llama, as in Tibetan Lama, The Llama in the Whale by Tim Williams, right? And that's an incredible story that came to me on a meditation retreat about this high Lama who dies and reincarnates into a whale, an orca whale. And what happens? The whole consciousness of a high Lama goes into a whale that's, well, I won't give you a spoiler, but it's a great story. And that's an audio book, The Llama in the Whale. And then the other audio book is How to Let Love Win. It took a lot to do that. I didn't follow the instructions. And so I had to do it all again. Oh my God. I went through so, how sometimes things you have to kind of climb the mountain to get there. And then, okay, once you're there, you're there. But oh God, it was a real mountain. So I hope you enjoy it, Joe. I sat in my garden to meditate. When I opened my eyes, all four of my dogs were sitting staring at me. I can believe it. Animals pick up on it. Babies pick up on it. Anything natural, flowers pick up on it. Plants pick up on it. Nature spirits pick up on it. Humans pick up on it. It's love. Your heart. Get in there. Get out of your mind. Get into your heart. And you'll be speaking the language that all creatures understand. I like the sound of that. It's like that song by, what was her name? You speak the language of love like you know what it means. That's a lyric. Tina Turner. You speak the language of love like you know what it means. The language of love is universal. You can't be the thinker and the witness at the same time. Well, you can. That's metacognition. A lot of people can't. But metacognition, you can. And then you edit it in real time rather than later, or, you know what I mean? So the thinker, you can witness all the functions. Admittedly, when you become the witness, your thoughts, the rambling thoughts, slow right down. But metacognition allows you to witness and have it happen. That's what's really extraordinary. But to start with, it appears like, yeah, no, you're either witnessing or, you see, the thing is, you wouldn't know you were speaking unless you were witnessing it. And the thing is, to increase the level of to bring it up to the level of metacognition, you need to increase the level of your witness. But actually, you're doing it all the time. Otherwise, you wouldn't know you were speaking. You wouldn't know you were thinking. And a lot of people don't. They're just literally asleep thinking. They're not asleep as in, that kind of sleep. They just don't realize that they've been taken over by their internal dialogue and they're just rabbiting away. Then comes, you become aware of it. Cassie, I often hush myself. Ava sewed myself in a library. Okay. I meditate 30 minutes in the morning. Darkness, but my downloads are rare. What am I doing wrong? Meditate more. And the thing is, meditation, if downloads come, fine. But if you want to stimulate, meditation isn't really for getting downloads, number one. But if you want downloads, the way that it works, the way that consciousness seems to work, and the way that the brain works, and the way that the universe works, and the way that the three of them work together, is if you want to know something and receive a download, you have to ask. Ask. And you knock and it'll be opened. Ask and the answer will appear. Seek and you'll find. I know people who've not asked and have meditated for years and have got nowhere because they didn't inquire. They stopped the inquiry as soon as they started meditating. That inquiry has to keep open. What do you want to know? It's a relationship. What do you want to know? And when you ask, the answer, you have to ask in such a way that it's authentic, that it's in alignment with your core signal, and you have to keep that question alive. So you have to really want it and be considering it and keeping it alive. And then the universe will give you a download maybe, or you'll bump into someone who'll tell you, or you'll randomly find a book or a video or something. So ask and you shall receive. But if you don't ask, maybe you do, maybe you don't. But if you do ask, if you do knock, it will be open. That's like a divine mandate. That's like a divine principle given, by Jesus the Christ. I promise you, if you knock, it will be opened unto you. I promise you, if you seek, you will find. This was promised. So this is how it works. But just making yourself available to any old download is not the same way. What do you want to know? What, my love, says the universe. What would you love to know? How can we fill your heart with gratitude? What would you need to be filled? What do you want to know? It's a beautiful relationship that can develop with that which knows and that which doesn't. My keyboard types its own words sometimes. Yeah, me too. What are your opinions of Jesus? Well, the Jesus that is portrayed currently, basically, the Lord Christ came to me when I was younger, all right, after a lot of praying and asking. He came full light and glory into me and filled my whole body, literally my whole body, with light and love. And after that, I had no interest in Christianity and I had no interest in the Bible. Jesus did not come to me with a Bible in his hand. And he did not come to me saying old prayers. It's more vital than that. Now, if you want to be in a religion, fine. You approach Jesus that way. But historically, that the Bible has been perverted, and going even as soon after Jesus as Paul, the whole thing got twisted so that we actually don't get the Christ. We get some weird version of it. And Bible and books of the Bible were taken out to support this weird version decided upon 300 years later. So Jesus, the Christ, yes. The Bible and Christianity as it is today, not so much. When will you be? You are very wise and very appreciated. Well, thanks very much. I believe you are loved beyond your recognition by us all. That's beautiful. I believe you are loved beyond your recognition by us all. That's bringing tears to my. Thank you for that. That's beautiful. I'm feeling that for 11th or 11. I'm actually feeling that. Anybody who says that we're not connected, do you know what I mean? I'm feeling that love. Thank you. What are you smoking to come up with that? Well, I don't smoke anymore. I've given up. I've got this stuff. All right. I mentioned this before. Stop smoking and this clears your lungs. Even if you do use this stuff, it's mullein. Not often you find something that works. That really works. Love conquers all, yes. What does it actually mean to go into your heart? You must find out. I can't give you a description. I can, but no, go in and find out. It means take your attention and find out, where does this I come from? What actually is that I that you're talking from? Where does your breath come from? Follow your breath back to its source. Follow the I back to its source. You will end up in your heart. Follow the I. Where does that I come? What is the I that you're using all the time? What is it you're referring to? Is it something here or is it something here? Follow your breath. You're breathing. Be present to your breath, and your breath will, if you don't interfere with your breath, but be present to it, it will take you to your heart. Hug someone. You feel your heart. Okay, people, I've got to go now. But before I do, let's have a little bit of music. This is called Be a Stand for Love. Stand for Love. Where is it gone? And I'll see you tomorrow, God willing, at 1 p.m. Thank you so much for the love. I really felt that. Thank you so much. It means a lot to me, because love really is the message. You've got it. I've got it. We all want it. So let's start sharing it. This is called Stand for Love. It's available on all platforms, like all the music I play. Thank you again.
Beyond the greatest distance is the boundless, nearer than the breath am I. If I take form, it's temporary and never the same real is what the mind cannot grasp. Illusion, what you cling to. So choose to be the inventor of love in your precious life. Be yourself. Is the source of the greatest love. It flows through all to you. Flows through all to you. I am the victory of love. I am the victory of love. The triumph over every karma, over every drama, over every drama. Be a stand for love in every situation. Be a stand for love in every situation. Be a stand for love in every situation. I am is the source of the greatest love. It flows through all to you. Flows through all to you. I am the victory of love. I am the victory of love. Triumphs over every karma, over every drama, over every drama.
See you tomorrow at 1 p.m.
There's a fire.